While the Merovingian kings ruled from their thrones, another power grew in the shadows. They called themselves mayors of the palace, humble servants, mere administrators. But like serpents in paradise, they watched, they waited, and they planned. The Carolingian family didn't emerge from nothing. For generations, they had served the Merovingian dynasty as military commanders and court officials. They were skilled, ambitious, and patient. Most dangerously of all, they were believers. True converts to the new Christian order that demanded complete submission to Rome. Charles Martel, the Hammer, was their first true champion. In 732, at the Battle of Tours, he turned back the Islamic invasion of Europe. The chroniclers praised him as the savior of Christendom. But they failed to mention something crucial. He fought that battle not as king, but as mayor of the palace under the Merovingian ruler, Theodoric. Officially, it was Theodoric's victory. Officially, the Merovingian dynasty had saved Christian Europe. But Charles Martel knew better. He had tasted real power on that battlefield. He had seen Christian knights rally to his banner, not his king's. He had felt destiny calling his name. From that moment, the secret war began. The Carolingians were brilliant strategists. They didn't move against the Merovingians directly. That would have sparked civil war, potentially destroying the very kingdom they sought to control. Instead, they employed a far more insidious weapon: administrative control. Year by year, decision by decision, they took over the machinery of government. Tax collection went through the mayor's office. Military appointments required the mayor's approval. Foreign ambassadors were told to deal directly with the mayor, not waste time with the king. The Merovingian rulers, secure in their ancient bloodline's divine mandate, barely noticed. Why concern themselves with paperwork when they had more important duties? The spiritual welfare of their people, the maintenance of cosmic order, the preservation of sacred mysteries passed down through the generations. It was the oldest trap in the world, and they walked into it willingly. But the Carolingians faced a fundamental problem. Medieval kingship wasn't just about power, it was about legitimacy. You couldn't simply declare yourself king and expect obedience. You needed the right blood, the proper rituals, the blessing of both God and man. The Merovingians possessed all of this in abundance. Their bloodline stretched back centuries. Their hair carried the mystical authority of ancient custom. Their very presence on the throne maintained the cosmic order that kept their kingdom stable. How do you replace something irreplaceable? The answer came from an unexpected source: the Bishop of Rome himself. Pope Zachary was no ordinary churchman. He was a political genius who understood that the new Christian order needed strong secular allies. The old pagan customs, the ancient bloodlines, the mystical traditions of barbarian kingship, these were obstacles to papal supremacy. When Pepin the Short, Charles Martel's son, sent envoys to Rome with a carefully crafted question, Zachary saw his opportunity. "Holy Father," the envoys asked, "is it right that he who holds no royal power should continue to be called king?" It was a masterpiece of political maneuvering. Zachary's answer would make or break both dynasties. Support the Merovingians, and the status quo continued. Ancient bloodlines ruling with mystical authority, largely independent of papal control. Support the Carolingians, and the Church gained a powerful ally, a dynasty that owed its very existence to papal blessing. The Pope's response was swift and decisive. It is better that he who actually exercises royal power should be called king, rather than he who falsely bears the title." With those words, Zachary had signed the Merovingian death warrant. More than that, he had created a new precedent that would reshape European history. The Pope could make and unmake kings. Bloodline was secondary to papal approval. The old gods were dead, and Christ's vicar on earth would choose his earthly representatives. But papal blessing was just the beginning. To truly destroy the Merovingians, the Carolingians would need to break something far more powerful than political convention. They would need to destroy the sacred mystery of the long hair itself. The hair was everything to Merovingian kingship. Classical historians like Gregory of Tours describe it as the mark of their royal dignity. For 3 centuries, every successful challenge to Merovingian authority had begun the same way: the forced cutting of royal hair. Rival claimants didn't just kill Merovingian princes. They sheared them like sheep, breaking their spiritual power before breaking their political power. The Carolingians understood this better than anyone. They had served these kings for generations. They knew the deepest secrets of Merovingian rule. They knew how to break it.